I heard from this healer who met your dad that angels had something to do with the formation of the VitaJuwel brand. And
Yeah.
I want to know about that. Can you tell us about that?
Right. Yeah, there's so many things about the creation of VitaJuwel, about the background, about how it all started and how it developed over the time that we could probably fill a book about that. And let me just share a few interesting thoughts about, especially like, as you've mentioned it, the angels. My dad told me the other day that, because he's been the one who actually created VitaJuwel, the idea of putting stones or crystals in water to infuse it with energy or to restructure it, it's nothing new, as you know. It's just something that has been going on in the Middle Ages, has been going on. Wise women and men and in ancient times did that. So this is actually not something that we came up with. We just like somehow, I wouldn't even say reinvented it, but just brought it up again and made it just accessible to the public in a way that's just efficient, hygienic, affordable, and safe to use.
And beautiful.
And beautiful. We try our best. And yeah, my dad started this 10 years ago. He's out there. He's visiting me right now in California. They're all living in Germany, but he's here right now, and actually installing a water filter out there. And he told me the other day that the Archangel Zadkiel gave him the idea of VitaJuwel, and he told me that this has been brought to him by this angel. He's been sure and convinced that Zadkiel was the one who gave him the idea about creating VitaJuwel. And in practical terms, what my dad has always been a very creative spirit and just somebody who has who's using things and always also of course being open to new ideas. And he was also always somebody to put crystals directly in water to infuse them with energy. Because that's just what he's been told by his mother and her mother before that. And it's just been an old tradition that in my family we've been practicing too for, well, at least as long as we can trace it back. And he was also, as he's a very practical man too, he was also at some point just tired of cleaning the stones all the time. And he thought of a way how to make it more practical, to of course make it more beautiful, more practical. But he's of course a man of beauty too, but of course first of all a man of practical approaches. And he thought the best vessel to put stones in to treat water with is actually glass, as glass is just derived from sand too. It's molten sand, so quartz sand. And that's just something that he thought about a lot for quite some sleepless nights. And he partnered with glassblowers in Czech, Bohemian glassblowers. Those are just the ones who do a wonderful job in creating not only artistic things, but also things that are usable in daily life. One might think European glassblowers, usually people think about Murano in Italy, beautiful as they are, but the old tradition of blowing glass for tools, for glasses, for wine glasses is in Bohemia in Czech. And he found also family businesses like us who were glass blowers and went through some ideas, some shapes, some designs, and created the gemstone vial. And he started with this one blend, Wellness, still the most popular one that we have, amethyst, rose quartz, rock crystal, a blend that people have been using over hundreds of years to actually energize water, and did it for himself, for family and friends. And over the weeks after that, people just almost forced him to start that. It's a business. He was already retired almost, more or less, and actually didn't have much to do. And as he's always active, he wanted to do something. And he marketed it. He started doing trade shows, big trade show in Germany. And very soon he got approached by somebody called Michael Ginger. Michael Ginger is the Jedi Knight of crystal energy and crystal healing. And he is a best-selling author in Germany. There's also a wonderful book in English that's been written by him called Gem Water. And he advised my dad on what blends to use, to introduce, to just open to the public. And this is how it evolved. This is how it all started. It grew like a one-man show. My dad did that. And then my brother joined the company about 3 years later. I did after my episode as working as a lawyer, about 5 years later. And then I moved over to the States just to introduce the concept here. And now in the meantime, we're selling to more than 80 countries worldwide. And I just feel blessed and honored to have found friends and partners like you who help me promote structured water the way we do it in a practical way, that you're always also educating people how to be more open to structured water. You have a wonderful database on your website, thewellnessenterprise.com. There's a wonderful learning database, and I just can tell other people out there, if you want to learn a little more about structured water or dive deeper in what we also do, what VitaJuwel is about, go to thewellnessenterprise.com. Wonderful source of information.
Thanks, John. I appreciate that. It's kind of interesting our coming together, because, I would describe, as I did my due diligence on your product, that your family's primary value proposition, the way you put it forth in the world, is we're going to pay really close attention to quality and beauty. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to overstate anything, other than you can look at us and you can just see by what we do how beautiful it is and the quality. And then you decide for yourself whether it makes a difference in your body or difference in your life. That's how I saw you guys.
The interesting thing is, when my dad asked, my dad is an awesome salesperson, and I was a lawyer back in the days, and he told me, well, Jan, why don't you want to start in the States with marketing and promoting VitaJuwel? And I said, I'm not a salesperson. And he said, doesn't matter at all. This product is made for people, for everybody out there. Whether you believe in it or not, there's nothing to sell. The product speaks to the people themselves. It's beautiful, and it's a tool. Even if people just see it as something fancy to use, as a fancy water bottle, the cool thing is it works for them too. You don't have to believe in it. It works for you. And it's gonna just be part of your life and part of your endeavor, and maybe drinking more water, being open to better water, to pure and fresh water than ever before. And I don't know if I believed him from the start, but he proved to be right. This is just something that is, our approach is a very practical approach. Of course, we are open to things that cannot be seen between you and me. So it's kind of hard to put it in English. I really want to explain it in German. But we are, of course, we're to a certain part spiritual people. We're also, being German, practical people. So we want to create tools. On the other hand, tools that people like to use, like the water bottle, like the gemstone vial, people that are things that you just like to look at before you use it. And that's always been our approach, helping people become more conscious for good water on the one hand, but also tools you can use in daily life.